The Honourable Member for Kafinsa.
I thank you most sincerely, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity given to the people of Kafinsa constituency to make a few comments on the proposed 2023 national budget. Madam Speaker, owing to limited time, I'll restrict my debate to one very important issue, which I think is appearing in different budget lines, and this relates to empowerment programs. Madam Speaker, you are aware that successive governments have attempted to find a formula that could be utilized to reduce the poverty levels in our respective constituencies. I'm aware that instruments have been put in place. The Ministry of Youth, Sport and Child Development has been giving empowerment funds for so many years. I'm aware that the Citizens Economic Empowerment Commission has also been giving money for so many years. I'm also aware that there are other government institutions under Ministry of Community Development that have designed programs that are supposed to help the community. As I was looking at the 2023 national budget, Madam Speaker, I noticed that funding has been provided again in those particular different ministries to support women, to support the youth, and to support other different groups that need to be empowered. What issue am I bringing to the floor of this House, Madam Speaker, in relation to the budget? It is how we should now start measuring the impact of these programs that have been designed for so many years. And I'll give a very practical example. Groups were formed. Each of these members of parliament went into the constituencies and encouraged people to form cooperatives. For those that are under the Ministry of Agriculture, they were quite fortunate that they have been considered for some of these very key, important programs. One of the reasons, Madam Speaker, why cooperatives in Zambia have not worked, and I'm sure each one of us will agree, that at the first instance of giving cooperatives money, what normally happens is that those cooperatives will get the money. Immediately the money hits their account, Madam Speaker, you find that the cooperative will meet on a Monday or a Tuesday, and they will agree to share the money. Once they share the money that is meant for one very important project, what happens, Madam Speaker, is that the objective of government, this has been the case for so many years, the objective of government to empower people does not get achieved. In essence, Madam Speaker, we are getting money and splitting money in a group, and the intended beneficiaries at the end of the day, Madam Speaker, are not benefiting. The point I'm raising, Madam Speaker, which is very key, even as we review the 2023 national budget, is that as we design these empowerment programs, some of these programs, Madam Speaker, we need to change them. We need to change them. We need to realize that no matter how much money we give people that are in a group, lessons have taught us that half the time, majority of our groups are just sharing money. For those that have not shared the money, especially where you give them money to go and buy specific items, be it chicken rearing, be it a hammer mill, the first cycle will be successful. The moment they sell those chickens, you'll find that one chairman will say, no, let's just share the money. We've had these cases, Madam Speaker, for so many years. And that is why today, as I was reflecting on the 2023 national budget, I was basically trying to interrogate what could be changed in the design of this formula. Should we use cooperatives, for instance, to push in money and then allow those members of each cooperative to do businesses individually? Again, lessons have taught us, Madam Speaker, that when you give money to individuals, person A forms a company, you give them money, there are high chances of succeeding. But when you give people money in a group, and these are lessons that I've come across in so many instances. The time I was serving at a very lower level, Madam Speaker, some of the programs that have been implemented today were tried. And the problem and the excuse has always been, who owns this particular program? So today, as we consider the estimates that have been allocated by the Minister of Finance for purposes of empowerment under SME, under CEC, under Ministry of Local Government, the much publicized CDF. Already, Madam Speaker, we have people in constituencies that are sharing money. It's a quite sad state of affairs, but it should also tell us something, that the policy of empowering people must be redesigned. How do we redesign it? Should we give money to people to go and share, or we should just encourage people to form companies or individual empowerment programs that would be more sustainable, that would be measured, and that would give people the right results? The whole purpose of empowering people, Madam Speaker, and I believe the minister responsible for youth, on his desk he has records of so many groups that have not succeeded. The reason people don't succeed in groups, Madam Speaker, is because there's no sense of ownership. They feel that this is government money, we are in a group, no one owns this program. The moment you give money to an individual, go and start a business. Madam Speaker, we are going to produce successful Zambians. So my appeal today, as we support the allocation that has been provided towards a different empowerment programs, is that we need to redesign the systems under which we empower people. The old story of go and form a cooperative, Madam Speaker, we are wasting money. And I'm saying we are wasting money because the intended beneficiaries who we are giving money in groups, Madam Speaker, are not able to use the money for the intended purpose. The intended purpose is go and start a business, start selling chickens. After you sell chickens, go and buy the next set of chickens and make profit and support your families. But if you go in these constituencies, and I'll speak from a very important point of view, if you go in these constituencies, Madam Speaker, majority are not getting out of poverty. The issue we are discussing is a poverty alleviation strategy. Is it working or it is not working? My experience, and I believe this view is shared by many other members of parliament, is that yes, we need to put money into empowerment, but Madam Speaker, the concept of cooperatives needs to be reviewed. We need to start identifying individuals that we believe can be successful businessmen and women, and then we can reduce poverty in our country. So on behalf of the people of Kamfinsa constituency, we support the allocation towards empowerment programs, but we want to send a message of caution that 5 years will pass, Madam Speaker, the results of reducing poverty will not be seen unless we redesign the formula. I thank you.